Hello, thank you for joining me. Hey, I thought I'd take a few minutes and just talk to you about this cover that I've got on the truck and just kind of tell you some plans that I've got and talk to you about truck bed covers in general. First off, I'm just going to do a quick review of this Lomax cover in case that's all you care about, and then I'll talk to you about covers in general. First off, this cover here is a Lomax trifold lightweight aluminum bed cover. I put it on this Tundra right after I got the truck just a little under 3 years ago, and it has held up great. Okay, really well. Been very impressed with this cover. Matter of fact, this thing basically still looks and operates as new condition. I think you might be hard pressed if you pulled a new one out of the box right now. You might be hard pressed to tell the difference between that and this one. That's how well this cover has held up. Tell you a little bit about this cover. First off, like I say, this is a Lomax cover. It's lightweight aluminum trifold. Okay. I will tell you up front in case you're interested. Now I did put a tailgate seal around my truck bed, and if you're interested in how watertight, water resistance it is, I'm gonna tell you, getting water, not an issue. I might get a drop or two, that's it, in a really, really hard downpour. And I really think what happens then is when I let the tailgate down, a few little drops that are there fall down in there. So I have no issue of getting anything wet in there. It works great. And some things that I really like about this cover and what made me choose this cover over some of the others at the time that I chose it. And I've had 2 fiberglass covers on 2 different trucks. I also had a backflip one time on a truck for just a little while. And so I've got some experience with some different covers. And some things that made me choose this cover over the others and over going back to a fiberglass cover was this time I wanted a cover that I could take on and off with ease. On that rare occasion when I did need the height or additional room, okay? And so I wanted it to be easy to take off just by myself and be quick. Because I will tell you, the one downfall with the fiberglass covers is that if you have to take them off, you can take them off. And it's not that major of an ordeal, really to do it in one sense, yet it is too, because to do it, you really need some help doing it. One thing that I learned with them was I would take a couple of sawhorses on the rare occasion I needed to take them off, and I would back up to it. I would unbolt it and set it down and slide it down onto those sawhorses, and I could do it by myself, okay? But really, it's ideally a 2-person job to do that. And 2, if you are somewhere and you need to pull it off and come back home with it off, of course, you know, it's really not practical to do that. Where this cover here will actually, you can fold it up, and there's a little hook on each side that you undo, a little safety hook, and then a little strap you pull, and the whole cover will slide right off, okay? Takes you about a minute, and it's lightweight aluminum. And when it's folded up, you can actually just slide it up in the truck bed next to what else you're hauling if you needed to do that when you're off somewhere and you needed to haul something back that was a little tall. Or you can fold it up and leave it and bunge it in place up there, because it's got 2 little straps, one on each side, that'll hold it in place, and you can run with it open, okay? So that's a non-event. And if you even if you needed to take the rails off, they're just clamped in there. There's no holes drilled or anything. There's no drain holes with this cover. There's no holes in your truck bed. You could take the rails off if you needed to, pretty quick. So easy to do. But one thing that I liked that it was lightweight aluminum. So it's hard. It's a hard surface up here. Okay. Now I don't think you'd want to be walking on this cover, but if you needed to lay something up here that was spread out and had weight, the weight was distributed, probably wouldn't be much of an issue to some degree. And you know, if you had a way to strap it down safely, of course. Overall, I've just been really impressed. I like the way the gaskets sit on this. I'm gonna just kind of walk you around and show you some things about this. I want you to look how well this thing, I don't know if you can see how well that gasket sits. It actually forms right into the little indention on there really well and just gives a nice tight fit, okay? And each panel is put together and attached with a seam, with a gasket. And I mean, it's just really nice. And of course, there's your place where you bungee them in. And just a really nice seal all the way around, okay? When you open it up, of course, you've got your, hard to do that one-handed, but you can do it. And again, here's your rails. And you'll notice when the rail sets on here that it actually almost goes up just a little bit there. So of course, water's not going to want to run uphill. And then when you have that tight gasket, of course, water just doesn't seep in there. And then of course here you have your two little safety hooks, one on this side and one on that side, and a little strap here. You can just pull that and the whole thing will just come right off, okay? So overall, just a really great cover, and I've really been impressed with it, and it's served me well. Like I say, I've got the seals here on around the tailgate, and it keeps everything nice and dry and out of the weather and out of view. And so I've been really impressed with it. Now, also will tell you that, like I say, I've had 2 fiberglass covers before on 2 different trucks, and I've also had a backflip on a truck for just a few weeks. The backflip, and this was back in about 07, I believe. I just got a new Chevrolet back then, and I'd had a backflip put on it right after I got it. And within just a few weeks, that thing was leaking bad, and the little seals up front were starting to work their way loose. And I carried it back to the fellow that I bought it from, a great guy, and he took care of it, and he contacted the company, and anyways, he took care of it. And apparently there'd been some issues with some of those covers they'd put out right around that time, and I guess they've been corrected, I don't know, but anyways, he took it back, no issues, and I put a fiberglass cover on the roll with that. And that's one reason I like this gasket underneath. I think that's important. I think that's a major deal, having the gasket underneath instead of connected on the top where you're getting so much wind against it all the time. Having it underneath, you're keeping that little bit of weight on it, and you're getting a good seal. So anyways, what I'll tell you about covers in general, I think they need to be put on there right. Installation matters on these things, folks. It really matters, okay? They have to be squared up, and they have to meet the edges, particularly up in those front corners, okay? And back here around the tailgate. They've got to be squared up. They need a good gasket in there of some kind of type or some type of seal, especially around these corners, okay? And then putting a seal around your tailgate, because these are pretty good gaps around tailgates in pickup trucks, okay? That helps a great deal in keeping water out. Now, I will tell you, dust is probably a bigger issue than water, and that is, and not in every day, not just out here driving on the highway or your average roads, but if you're driving down really fine sand, roads with a lot of fine sand like that, fine dirt, you can get some dust get up in there, okay? So I'll tell you that, but so do be cautious of that. But other than that, I really I found bed covers just to really be handy tell you the truth, just be handy. I mean, gives you a place to keep things out of view, keep things out of the weather, and I think they look sharp too. I really do. I think a good cover, and that's one thing I really like about this Lomax cover. This cover looks sharp. It just has a nice, it just blends in. It just looks OEM, I guess you might say. It just looks like it was made for the truck, and I really like it. And all the fiberglass covers look great too. I like the way, and when I got this cover this time, I wanted something I could take off and put on easily by myself. One thing I like about this cover is you can actually run with it in place, fold it up, bunge it in place with those two straps, and then I run with it in place. Or you can unlatch it and take it off. You could even slide it up in the truck bed next to what you're hauling if you was off somewhere and you needed to haul it and what you're hauling back. So you can do that, or you can take it off and set it to the side. The fiberglass covers, Turner covers, are a little more difficult to deal with in that they're a little heavier. And what I found with them, on the rare occasion I needed to take one off, I'd unbolt it and set me a couple of sawhorses back here and just gently slide it off onto them, and that would work fine. But anyway, I really like this Lomax. It's been a great cover. Just really has. And I say still in basically perfect condition. Now I am going to tell you, and one of the reasons I wanted to go ahead and do this video, I'm going to take it off. And you say, why are you going to take that off if you like it so well? Well, once in a while I need a little bit more room, okay? Once in a while I just need a little more room. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to have a fiberglass truck cap, or camper shell as they're sometimes called, put on here in a few days, and all to give me that room when I do need it. And now I'll be real square about it. I don't know that I'm gonna like the looks of it as well. This cover just looks great, but it's one of those things. Sometimes I need that little additional room. So it is what it is. But if you're looking for a Turner type cover, and I'd say this Lomax is one to give some consideration to. And good looking cover, works well. Like I say, just shy of 3 years, has held up really well, and it's been on a few long road trips, and it's worked well. Well, anyways, folks, I appreciate you taking the time to view this, and hope y'all are doing well. Hope you take care, and if you got any comments, questions about them, hey, let me know. I'll try to address it if I can. Appreciate you, and if you would, and if you don't mind, if you would like to subscribe and share the video, I would appreciate it. Y'all take care. Thanks. Bye.